If you feel like you're constantly running on empty, this one's for you. We're not talking about those quick fixes or, caffeine hacks. We're talking about a real fundamental blueprint for redesigning how you build and sustain your energy every single day. So let's just start with a big question. Are you the architect of your energy? I mean, think about that for a second. It's a simple idea, but it's really powerful. It suggests that energy isn't just something you have or don't have, but it's something you can consciously, deliberately build. Because let's be honest, most of us are in reactive mode, right? We feel tired, so we grab a coffee. We feel sluggish, we skip a workout. We're just constantly patching holes in a faulty structure. Today, we're going to shift from patching to designing, from reacting to actually building something solid. Okay, let's dive into the core concept here. We're calling it the Vitality Blueprint. I want you to think of it like an architectural plan for your well-being, a totally new way to look at managing the very fuel that powers your life. At the very heart of this blueprint is what we're calling the energy system. Now, this is a framework that looks at three key pillars. That's sleep, movement, and nutrition. Not as separate items on a checklist, but as one deeply interconnected system. Get one right, and it actually lifts up the others. But let one slide, and, well, it can pull the whole structure down with it. So, every great structure has to start with a solid foundation. In our Vitality Blueprint, that non-negotiable base, it's sleep. It's the very first thing we have to get right before anything else can possibly be built on top of it. And I just love this perspective. We tend to think of sleep as just shutting down for the night, just downtime. But this quote reframes it so perfectly. It's not downtime, it's nightly construction. It's when your body and your mind are actively repairing, rebuilding, and getting everything ready for the day ahead. So how do we build this foundation? Well, it really comes down to three key things. First up, consistency. Going to bed and waking up around the same time, it's not about being rigid, it's about being smart. You're training your body's internal clock. Second, your environment. Think of it like creating the perfect workshop for that nightly construction. You want it dark, quiet, and cool. And third, respecting your own natural rhythm. Working with it instead of constantly fighting against it. Okay, with a solid foundation of sleep in place, now we can start putting up the framework, and that's movement. Movement is what gives your whole structure resilience, strength, and the ability to handle all the stresses that daily life throws at you. Now, this is really interesting because it demands a huge shift in mindset. So many of us see exercise as some kind of punishment for what we ate or just a chore we have to get through. This frames it as a creative act. You are literally building the architecture of your own physical strength and capability. And the rules for building this framework kind of mirror our foundation. It's all about consistency over intensity. Small, steady efforts build a much stronger structure than just going all out occasionally. You also need to vary the load, mix in strength, cardio, and mobility for a design that's truly resilient. And this is crucial. You have to plan for recovery. Because just like in construction, it's during those periods of rest that the real strengthening actually happens. All right, so we've got our foundation and we've got our framework. Now we need the building materials, and that's our third pillar, nutrition. This is the high-quality fuel and the raw materials you need for all that construction, repair, and just your daily operations. This just nails the point, doesn't it? Eating isn't just a transaction to stop feeling hungry. It's a conscious decision about the quality of the materials you're using to build your own body. I mean, you wouldn't build a house with cheap, flimsy materials, right? So why would you do that with your body? So how do we pick the best materials? Well, first, you focus on quality. Think of whole, unprocessed foods as your premium grade supplies. Second, you gotta think about timing. Fueling up strategically before and after you move can make a huge difference in how you perform and recover. And finally, something so simple but absolutely vital, hydration. Water is basically the magic ingredient for every single process in your body, so please don't neglect it. And now, let's see how this all comes together. This is where the blueprint really comes to life. We're going to move from thinking about three separate pillars to understanding one single, integrated energy system. This slide says it all, really. On the left, you've got isolated actions, which is, let's face it, how most of us operate. It's trying to push through a hard workout on 4 hours of sleep. It just doesn't work. But on the right, you have system thinking. And here, everything is connected. Good sleep makes your workout way more effective. That workout improves your sleep quality. And good nutrition gives you the fuel for the workout and the materials for repair while you sleep. It becomes this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle. So, how can you start putting this into practice? Here's a super simple tool, a daily blueprint check-in. And hey, this isn't about being perfect, it's just about awareness. Just take 30 seconds at the end of your day to check in on your foundation, your framework, and your fuel. It helps you see where the little cracks are forming before they turn into major problems. And that really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. Your energy is not some random resource that just ebbs and flows on its own. It is a system. And the best part? You are the designer. You're holding the blueprint. So, as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this question. As you look at your own blueprint, thinking about your foundation, your framework, and your fuel, what's the very first block you're going to lay?